Reawakening. A belated Happy New Year in March, and welcome to the Season 5 premiere of Reawakening, the forward-thinking dream interpretation podcast with spiritual life coach and dream expert extraordinaire, Yvonne Ryba. I'm your host, Chris Mann, and though I'm a couple of months late posting this episode, my apologies, and thanks a lot, cold and flu season, and related ailments in the Mann family, I'm excited to share that this month's dream is tied to my brand new blog, WellseeingTV, or as they say in internet land, WellseeingTV.com. And I'm excited because this site combines two of my biggest passions, wellness and television, and is the culmination, really, of about 2 decades worth of my work on the subjects as a writer/author, art director, and content producer in the digital and print arenas. So Wellseeing TV's mission is to illuminate, investigate, and celebrate the transformative power of personal vision, television, and related visionary efforts in shaping our quests for well-being. And that brings me back to this podcast. For 20 plus years, Yvonne has been a visionary in my life who has guided me again and again to my own deeper, greater sense of well-being. And what I hope to achieve with Wellseeing TV is to incorporate some of the little nuggets of wisdom that she's shared with me along the way, things that I've learned from other people in the mind, body, and spirit wellness arenas, whether they be athletes, actors, health and fitness experts, doctors, anyone who has shared with me holistic ways of thinking and being. And I hope to share exclusive posts on my thoughts and others, and outtakes from interviews that I'm doing with others in wellness magazines, and some Flashback Friday stuff, looking back at some old stuff, perhaps from my Three's Company book, Come and Knock on Our Door, my pop culture website, Retroality TV. Who knows what might pop up? But I'm very excited, and I'm also honored once again to introduce you guys to Yvonne. Season's greetings, Yvonne, and Happy New Year. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Chris. And how are you?
I'm hanging in there. This year has been kind of that way for a lot of people.
I know it has. And how is the new website coming along?
Well, that is the thing that's keeping me going right now. The excitement of Wellseeing launching in early 2018.
Yeah.
Hopefully the energy around that will inspire and motivate others, and we'll all embrace the new flow of things in the new year. So it's going well.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear it. And I'm working on my piece for it, so that'll be coming through to you shortly.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Good.
So this kind of brings us to the dream that we're doing this time around.
Yes.
It's a dream that I had a couple months ago or so, when I was in the more conceptual stages for Wellseeing. And if you recall, you and I had a conversation about some names for the blog, the website that I had. And at the end of that came up the word Wellseeing. And then a night or two later, I had this dream. And maybe I'll let you take it from there.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yes. Well, your dream was that you were walking down a row of outdoor storage units. And then the feeling was cold and a bit creepy.
Yeah.
And you noticed cobwebs along the tops of the units. So then you said, as I reach the end of the row and turn the corner, I see a tree at the end of the corner unit. A row of spiders start walking up a branch of the tree. On their backs, they are carrying white vitamin capsules. In the middle of the tree, struggling a bit to hold onto a branch, is a large queen bee. She's almost the size of a hummingbird. She's also translucent. Her abdomen area, or stinger, glows or illuminates. One by one, the spiders deliver vitamins to her, and she absorbs them into her body. I can see the vitamins within her. Suddenly, she gains a better perch on the tree branch and seems stronger. I woke up and quickly connected this dream to the conversation we'd had a couple of days earlier, in which you just mentioned was about the name of the new website and so on.
Yeah, it was very vivid.
So here's what I got out of all of this. I'm walking down a row of outdoor storage units. Well, to me that suggests memory banks or computer-like feeling around it. You're walking down, these things are outdoors, they're just, they're not close to you, you've kept them in the outside of your life. The feeling is a bit cold and creepy, you say. I notice cobwebs along the tops of the unit. Well, cobwebs, meaning that these things had been unused, not opened for a long time. Cold and creepy, perhaps you were a bit in awe of them, a little bit frightened, a little bit fearful about the whole thing of whatever's inside these storage units. As you reach the end of the row and turn the corner, you see a tree at the end of the corner unit. Now then, that's a play on words, turning a corner, all right? So we know what that means. Turning a corner is getting over something, getting round it, moving forward.
Yes.
And this feels to me like you're moving beyond this, whatever this fear, this cobwebby, cold feeling is. And this tree is a very, very good sign because trees suggest growth. Trees put down roots and they grow branches, and those are all very good symbols. So This could be a family tree. This is for you to decide. Or a fear that you've had since you were young, when you were with your family a lot, because that's usually when we get our fears. We get started on our complexes from our early years.
Sure.
But the branch itself is saying to me, the trees having growth and all, it might be time to branch out.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
A row of spiders starts walking up a branch of the tree. Now, I'm personally not crazy about spiders, but spiders are not bad things to have in dreams, depending, of course, on your dream. But this is a good symbol, all right?
Okay.
From ancient times, spiders have been considered to be not only incredibly clever, but the creators of beautiful things. They create webs, all right? Now, I think it's the ancient Greeks, as a very ancient, one of the gods. She was the goddess in charge of all spiders, I think. She spins the webs for everybody, for their lives. We are always creating our own space, our own lives, and that's what they represent, okay? But this bunch, this lot of spiders, are carrying vitamins on their back, white vitamin capsules.
Uh-huh.
All right, and they're all heading towards this large queen bee, who is struggling a bit to hold on to a branch. Well, she's huge. She's the size of almost of a hummingbird.
Yeah.
And she is glowing, all right? She's glowing. She's lit up. She's casting out light. She's translucent. This is a really interesting bunch of symbols here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the large queen bee. Well, the queen bee, there's another play on words, is the creator of it all right? The hive cannot exist without the queen. She, in fact, everything in the hive, she is their mother. Every worker, drone, you name it, they're all from her. She is the mother of everything. So she is the creator. She is the huge creator. And she's glowing, casting out her light here. She's spreading out. She's making things visible to other people. And I get why you think this is to do with your new website called WellSeeing.
Yeah.
Because light sheds light on subjects, and that's what we want. We want to bring about people being able to see, we'll say, well, better, clearer, clarity of thought, opening up to what is the truth about themselves and where they're going and so on. So this is a lot to do with what you want to do with your website.
From spirituality to health to dreams and their symbols.
And you've got the vitamins.
Yeah.
You know, the vitamins are in there. I mean, you've got the health thing.
Right.
Also, the energizing. I mean, this is not just a health thing. It's also an energizing of the spirit. So I had written, when I read this, and you said she absorbs the vitamins into her body.
Yeah.
And you can see them within her.
Yeah.
And suddenly she gains a better perch on the tree branch and seems stronger. Mm-hmm. I woke up and quickly connected this dream to the conversation we had a couple of days earlier. Okay, so I have written, she's a strong symbol of creativity and the start of a new hive, new life. This quality within you has been stifled. You put it away in storage, all right? You've put it away somewhere. And now is the time to take it out and strengthen yourself and build up this quality and go for it.
Yeah.
And you're feeling new energy come into you. And, it could also mean, because you have to pay attention to everything, you might need to take some of these vitamins yourself.
That's
all
very
right?
true. Yeah.
And know that you are very busy looking after your family.
Yeah.
And sometimes caregivers tend to forget about themselves. I've done that myself, as a matter of fact.
That's right.
So you need to look at yourself and say, listen, do I need to take some extra stuff here?
That's
Get
right.
some vitamin C or whatever.
Yeah.
And let yourself be lifted, because you're going to be telling other people. You need also to pay attention to your own inner being.
Absolutely. I write about supplements, vitamins, herbs a lot, nutrition, but I'm also interested in how that fits in to the one's overall wellness. You have to take care of the physical, and you have to take care of your mind, you have to take care of your spirit. All those things work in unison. And even the element of well-seeing that will be more about perhaps celebrities or television or pop culture, it's all coming from a place of seeing the world, whether it's with humor, with a sense of oneness with the universe, whatever you want to call it, those things that do fortify you. And it comes down sometimes to just, eating your vegetables and taking your vitamins, because you got to take care of this vehicle, right?
Absolutely. That's a thing that often is ignored. We're put on the earth in a body, all right? It's quite difficult to handle a spiritual side of life when you're hungry or you're in pain.
Yes.
But you have to try. And then you come up with, how do I do it? We want to be out of pain, and we want to get over the hunger. We want to get something to eat. So we use our minds to create in our lives the answers to those things. And that's what you're going to do with your new website. And I look forward to being part of it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I am too, and I thank you in advance. It's going to be fun to work with you.
Well, it always is with you, Chris.
Thank you, Yvonne. So if a man has a dream about a queen bee, one would think, oh, that's got to be some woman in my life. But that, you know what I mean? But it can mean that literally everyone has, as you've said before, masculine and feminine, and a creativity and spirituality. Are those sort of more feminine qualities then in a person?
Yes. Well, it's a poor specimen of a human being that hasn't got any creativity in it.
Yeah.
We all have it. It comes out in different ways. Some people, it's very action-packed. They're creative in the way that they play sports.
Sure.
Or coach Little League or whatever it is they do. And other people, it's in the homemaking and the designing and the creating of a wonderful place for the family to live. But a lot of us, it's outside of that. It's writing,
sure,
like you and I do. It's singing.
Yeah.
For a friend of mine who his life is around, the whole idea of singing for other people.
More expressive, artistic.
Yes, expressive. It's the arts, it's literature. It's all those things. I mean, I've got a grandson who's an actor, and that was what he wanted to be from the very early part of his life. I remember when he was just a little tot, he wanted to be in acting, and he became one. He's 41, I think, now.
Good for him.
So, yes, we all have it, and we need to use it and strengthen it.
Yeah.
But there are some parts of us that we have left to one side, and then our subconscious says, that thing you wanted to do and you didn't think you could do, well, it's time you did it.
Right.
Get it out of the storage unit. Get it out there. Start working on it.
Well, several years ago, as you know, I stopped working on a website that I had, Retroality, and that's how we started doing this podcast with the Reimagine That, where I would interview celebrities and we would have our dream segment. And I felt so fulfilled in doing that podcast and that website and bringing a different take on pop culture, connecting with forward thought and looking at the future and the dreams and so forth. But I also was, I think, a little dispirited that it didn't quite take off perhaps as quickly as I wanted it to, and other things happen in life, and that was put on the back burner. And then I think it's taken me a while to feel energized myself to get something else like this out there in this sea of noise that is the internet. I think it is time, and I'm so grateful for this dream and this discussion because I feel like it's that inner part of me saying that you're tapping into here. You gotta turn that corner, like you said, and get going. Use all these things that you've put aside, and there will be growth. And that's encouraging to me. So because I want to energize others as you do in your life, but sometimes we have to find that within ourselves first when, we're worn down by current events and family stuff, and everyone has their thing, to go, oh yeah, I've got to really get back to the essence of the joy of creating and sharing. And whether you're going to go out and be a little league coach, or you want to start your own website, or whatever it is, you've got to tap into that and go, you know what? Let's get her done. Let's get going.
Yes.
So that's what you're saying this is about. To me, I had the dream, and I'm like, oh, it's just saying, yeah, go with the word well-seeing. But you're seeing all this other depth to it, that it's really about accessing all these things that I've put aside. Interesting, Yvonne, interesting.
Good.
So I think I've learned the lesson here.
Good.
So with that being said, like I said, I look forward to reading your first thing for the website and getting it going in early 2018. And it's going to be a good one.
It is. It is. It's going to be a good one.
And I think we're going to do some good things with this website. And I appreciate,
Absolutely.
ever, your insight and wisdom, Yvonne. Okay?
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you. And
you take care, dear.
You take
we'll
care.
Talk to you soon. Okay. Bye-bye.
Reawakening with Chris Mann and Yvonne Ryba is a Rising Action Media production. Copyright 2018 by Chris Mann.